It appears that Mitch McConnell just sold out Kentucky coal miners. So last week, the Republican-led Senate, by the way, passed a massive $1.4 trillion government spending package. Now, there's a lot of things in it, a lot of different things, some of which I spoke about before. But what was missing is something that would have helped some of the more vulnerable constituents of Mitch McConnell, and that would be disabled, sick coal miners. So these people that worked in the coal mines 20, 30 years, and a lot of them have some stuff like black lung. Okay, so within that spending package, there's about $15 billion. And that's a 30-year payout to sustain the Black Lung Disability Trust Fund. So that, again, that's for people who can no longer work because they got black lung from working in the mines. Now, as many as 1 in 5 coal miners currently suffer from black lung. Coal mining, as we've seen before, is not only dirty, terrible for the environment, but also dangerous for the people who work at it, and can lead to a lifetime of health problems and even early death. So it's not great. Which, look, I can understand the pride of a lot of people who had worked in the coal mines. Yeah, I worked in the coal mines. My daddy worked in the coal mines. You know, we're tough people. We're good stock, right? Like, we're proud because we built that. We, helped fuel America for so long. I understand that pride. But looking at the environmental cost and the damage that coal itself does, not only that, but the damage it does to the people that mine it and the environment around the mines, I mean, it's not, at this point, it's not even worth it, right? Not only that, but here you have wind energy that is actually far more cost efficient now than coal. So the technology has basically made coal mining essentially obsolete here in America. And so, nonetheless, there are people that have worked in these mines that we owe them to make sure that they are taken care of, right? And more importantly, the coal companies owe these people for them working their lives to be able to enrich the coal mine owners. So that's one of the big problems with this bill that McConnell pushed through, is that it made sure that the burden of taking care of these people does not fall on the coal companies themselves. Now, McConnell, for example, had removed provisions that would force coal companies to commit to higher payments towards the healthcare costs of employees and retirees. He also eliminated proposed requirements to extend the commitment period and modestly increase the tax on coal mining companies that are supposed to support the trust fund. So no increasing the taxes in the coal company to take care of the people who had helped make those coal companies prosperous. So now that means more of that share falls to us as taxpayers and not the coal companies themselves. So that is basically privatizing the profits and socializing the losses. Look, anybody who claims that Mitch McConnell hates socialism, well, you can just point to that. He loves socialism, but for the rich and corporations. He loves redistributing your wealth to the top so that these companies can make an extra buck. That's who Mitch McConnell is. So if you think he's on the side of coal miners, no, he's on the side of coal mine owners, the coal barons. So now here's the other thing about McConnell, right? If you look at his history, if you look at all the decisions that he's made, all the positions that he's fought for and positions that he's fought against, you can realize that he is an unscrupulous politician. So in the end, and by the way, he's actually a very savvy politician as well. He is good at what he does, and what he does best is be evil, but try to look good doing it, right? For example, and there's, I'm going to give you another example of this relating to the coal miners, but I actually want to talk about Connect, which is the Kentucky version of the ACA. That is the marketplace for health insurance. So now Connect was very popular in Kentucky. People liked being able to go and get their insurance from the exchanges. They were actually saving money. Well, you know what Mitch McConnell was doing at the same time? While Connect was hitting popularity, he was railing against Obamacare. Well, Obamacare and Connect are the very same thing, but Connect is just the state version of the Obamacare exchanges that were mandated by the ACA. So he's saying Obamacare, worst thing in the world, terrible. Connect, wonderful. That's the model we should have. He speaks out of both sides of his mouth. And so when it comes to the coal miners, he does essentially the same thing. So he allows these miners to get the funding, right, for the disability from taxpayers, passes that along in his budget bill, $15 billion. However, in that same bill, he makes sure that the coal companies themselves remain untouched. So he's going to spin this to make himself look good in order to win re-election, because he has no moral core. He is basically an empty shell. Look, it shouldn't be the taxpayer that's required to pay for the people that were harmed thanks to these corporations. These corporations should be involved directly into making sure they take care of their employees. They should not be getting a pass. These companies either need to pay more in taxes, right, which they should be anyway, or paying, again, directly into these miners' healthcare and disability benefits while also paying more taxes. They should not be allowed to get away with this. But thanks to people like Mitch McConnell and money in politics, corrupt politicians taking bribes from corporations, this is what happens. This is the result. Mitch McConnell does whatever his donors tell him to, no matter what. And then he does it to spin it to make himself look good. Oh, don't worry, I'm just taking care of the coal miners. No, you're not taking care of anybody but yourself and your own political personal interests. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent, progressive media.